How's it going out there, ship heads? Welcome to Trek Mods, my own ship show on YouTube. And I got my little bottom piece of the Reliant Hornet Refit, my little underslung pod part. And I'm gonna get this closed up. Got a couple holes here. Leave these vent holes open. I think that'll be cool. And I'm gonna fill this in, fill this square one in. Haven't decided yet what I'm gonna do on the back, but got a little bit of sanding and a little bit of filling to do here. Pretty much just take a little piece of a strip here. This one's big enough. Pretty good. I'll just square it up. Okay, we're almost in there. Just got to take this edge down a little bit. Need these so that I can hold on to it. Fret leveling beam. Okay, not bad. Just need to take a tiny little bit off the edge here. Fret leveling beam. Alright, that's pretty good. Looks like it's going to be slightly curving. Gonna take the end off on a bit of an angle here. This side too. Right, that's not bad. Okay. Another little scrap bit here. Try to utilize the lines on the modeling plastic. It allows me to get a straight cut. Yeah, it's going to require a little sanding because it's thicker than this little lip right here. Unless I use a thinner piece, I can just sand it down. I'm not going to make another piece. It fits. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just going to put a little glue inside. Got a slight gap there. Alrighty. So we need a bit of filling in here. Never noticed that. It's got the it's got something carved into it there. So I'm gonna try doing this instead of getting the tube of filling stuff out. Let's just see if this works. Actually, 1 second. Okay, so this super glue and baking soda trick works really great. The thing is, I want this to be very smooth with minimal filing. So what I have here is moose antler dust, and I have that from making guitar parts like this nut and this bridge right here. That's made out of solid moose antler. So I save this stuff and I can use that in place of the baking soda. So it's basically bone dust. Most of you probably aren't going to have any moose antler dust kicking around, but if you do and you decide to do this, wear a mask. I have a mask on. Be very careful. You don't want to breathe this stuff in. It's not deadly dangerous or anything, but it's very uncomfortable if you have this in your nasal passages or your sinuses or anything. So just the tiniest amount. I've never done this before with the antler dust, but I'm hoping it'll give me a smoother sanding experience. Because you can sand and shape the super glue and baking soda very well. It just takes a little extra effort to make it real smooth because of the graininess of the powder here. So this is a much smoother powder. I'm not going to just blow this away into the air. And be very careful and dispose of this into the down the sink where it can't get airborne. Okay, so there it is. It actually feels quite smooth compared to some of the other areas where you would do the baking soda. But the only way to know is to try it, so I've tried it. See if it works. So I'm just gonna sand this up, try and get it as smooth as possible before I start putting lights and wires and stuff in it. Because I kind of need to get this piece finished before I can start putting the rest of it together. So I'll be right back. Okay, back. This is pretty smooth. the spot where I put the antler dust here, that's great. You can see it because it's a different color, but that is seamless. That's perfectly smooth. I used a little bit here to fill in the plus and minus. This is the spot where you had a gauge to turn up the flow of the fuel for this torch here. So the outside surface here is good, nice and smooth. I guess I could keep these little pins in here and glue them up when I put this together. I don't see why not. Alright, so for this back part, this has like a weird seam here where it goes that way, this way, and that. So what I think I'll do is I'll make an insert for this space, sort of like I did here, to fill in the hole. But it'll be thinner than what's here, so it'll be inset a little. And then maybe I'll put a little detail in there. So let me see. Yeah, I'll use this piece right here. Go down the line. Use that line. This line, nice and square. Yeah, cut right along this one line of dots. Okay, it's going to fit pretty nicely. I just need to round off the corners with my fret leveling beam. Alright, so it's a little thinner. And then it kind of dips down here. So what I think I'll do is put it in place, but only on one side. So if I just stick it on the one side, I'll still be able to put this together. Like that. And that fits right in there. So now I can add details to this. I gotta trim it down. Okay, so I got my piece done here. Debating whether or not I want to make a cover for this hole right now and put it in one side like I did here, or wait till I have this built and then cover this in with, we'll say, a cargo bay door, so maybe something like that, with the ridged plastic that I have. But I need to get some primer on this. I can't spray paint in the apartment, and it's too cold down in the parking garage for me to do that. But I also need to figure out where I'm going to put my pylons and my warp engines. Initially this was longer, and I decided halfway through that I would put a shuttle bay here. But when I decided to do that, I didn't think about my pylons. I can't have those coming right, I can't have that right on top of the shuttle bay. It's not going to work out. So we're gonna have an impulse reactor right there, and I got the underslung pod for here, so that doesn't give me a lot of room. If I want these to be my impulse engines, then where are my pylons going to come out? I need to stand in for the struts. Okay, so I'll just use the two pieces of the overhead roll bar as a stand-in, so I can try to maybe figure out where to put these where I'm going to put these coming out. I think right here would be not bad, but then it's right behind the impulse engine, which I don't really want. Maybe go a bit below it. Perhaps coming right out of the right out of there. Let's see, maybe I can even use these as my pylons. So I'll have to separate this piece from here. Alright, I'm going to cut these off, and I'm going to use these was pretty easy. Barely an inconvenience. Okay, a couple of scores and we got it. Okay, so I'm gonna need, I think, a little more room than that for wires, unless I just use bare wires like I did on the other one, which works as long as you lay them in here. You can lay in a wire through here and glue it down, one through here, and glue it down so it's not going to make contact with the other one at all. But still very thin. I would just like it slightly thicker. So I'm gonna add a strip. So I'm gonna add a strip through here just to separate that, give me a little gap so that I can run wires through there for my nacelles. Okay, so I'm gonna need thin strips. I should get the nacelle and see what kind of mounting situation that I'll be dealing with. So I think I'll make just slivers so that the end here can stay together. That way I can adapt it to mount onto here. And I got a lot of area here that I can play with depending on where I want this. Okay, so I'm going to start by making some slivers that are going to go in there. There's one already. It's going to bend a little. Okay, so I need a few more of these. Okay, so I think I need these to be pretty much the same. I can bend it laterally, so it's not a big deal if I get the exact same shape, but they need to be pretty much the same size. So I gotta just shave a little off of this part. These are gardening pruning scissors, and they're solid, and they have a nice sharp edge, so I can sort of dig into the side of that there. Okay, I'm going to cut this flat at the end. This one too. All right, let's see what happens if I stick it on here. Guess I'll put it on this part. Oh, easy there, guy. Okay, that's not too bad. I just noticed the microphone was sitting right in front of my face. I hope it didn't seem like I've been yelling in your ear the whole time. Alright, I'm going to cut this part off. So now, if I put this together, I've got a little thicker of a pylon. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so I'll give this a bit of a trim, or just a little bit of a shave. Fret leveling beam. So I can just kind of run it like this. Just kind of rocking it back and forth while I slide it. That should give me a nice curve, like that. And like that. Alright, so it makes it just a little bit difficult for me to line that up. Go a little bit more off the end here. Kind of want that to taper to a point, just like that. full. Okay. Thanks, fret leveling beam. That worked good. So what I want to do is I'm having a hard time lining that back up when I go to put it together. It's going to be a problem trying to put that on. I'm having a problem right now just without any glue or anything. I might add a little. See, we got the ridge on the inside. This side was perfectly flat, but this side has a little lip. So if I make a very thin strand, I can create that overlapping lip. Let's see. Need a blade. Where's all my blades, man? Where's all the blades, man? Okay, I'll use this piece here. It's already straight. So I just want enough that it's going to overlap the other piece. I'm cutting it this way on the flat because if I do it with the scissors, it's much easier to cut with the scissors, but it will bend and get all it'll get all deformed, and I'll have to bend it back into the position. So I'm just gonna do this. Make a couple more of those. Okay, let's see. I got a couple of thin little rails on there. Let's see if that helps me line it up. If I have to do any trimming or sanding, that should fit right in there. Okay, that's not bad. When I go to put this together, let's see, move this a little bit down this way. Okay, so I think I can still take a little bit off this part. It looks a little thicker than this side. Okay, so I'm going to trim this down a little. Yeah, can't really use my fret leveling beam on this because it's curved inwards. So I'm just going to file it. I always forget to grab this block here. It's just a neck block for holding guitars up while you're working on them. Got a few different wedges there, a couple options. You just rest your neck of your guitar on there to work on it. Okay, and then I'm going to take my corner file, my triangle file. I'm just going to get rid of a little of this glue. Don't need these little pins, it's just in my way. Should have cut those off first. I will on the other one. Okay, not bad. Just gotta take a little bit more off that. Fret leveling beam. Okay, so this should fit pretty good now. And it does. Okay, right on. There's my pylon. It's a fairly good fit once it's glued together. A little bit of finishing. And it's good. Okay, so I'm just going to do the same thing the other side. Turn the page. Alright, that's much better. So now I can put this together like so. Oops. Like so. Get out of here. Spit it out. Spit it out. Jeez. Can't do anything around here. Alright, there we go. So I got a nice little gap. I have to carve out that little bit. Got a big space right there. So yeah, that's not bad. Looking good. I can run wires. Bird, get lost. Just get rid of this. Okay. Okay, got the top of the sausage section here. Another thing that's going to be in my way of my windows here are these rings here. So I'm going to get rid of those. I'm just going to try to shave them off away from the direction of my fingers. So I'm making sure that I have the bevel on the surface of the model. Otherwise, just like chiseling at the wood, you'll dig down into it. This way, it just rides the top of the surface. That one went flying. That's cool. I got all these little rings now. Those might prove to be useful sometime. Let's put them to the side. Put them to the side. Okay, so I got room for my windows now. Slap that on there. These posts I think are going to be right in the way of the impulse engines. Yes. So those will have to be cut off. Don't really need the locator pins anyways. This is a, you know, it's not a round model. It only goes together one way. So I don't really need those locator pins. So we got a thick spot right here where those brackets click in. Little catch claws. Just gonna get rid of that too. Okay, so I got my little pod piece here. Want to put some windows on it. I'll stick with this window pattern. So I'll do horizontal little dots. Just gonna put a piece of tape here so I can get them nice and straight. So I can get a row there. Probably get a row here. Got a white pin here. I just put them in at random. So we'll go dot, line, line, whoops, dot, line, line, dot, dot, line, line, dot. Line, dot, line, dot, line, dot, dot, line, dot, line, dot, dot. And it doesn't matter if I make it the same on the other side, really, as long as it's kind of close. Not gonna worry about it too much. So we got 1, 2, 3 decks there. It'd be kind of cool if it had like a larger window, sort of. That's okay. Okay, kids, here's where we're at. Got my windows marked out. That's looking pretty good. Got some pieces of tape here. We're gonna put some larger windows, like the little arboretum. Someone in my comments suggested that I maybe leave these open as little vents, whatever, and I was thinking the same thing. I put a light in here to test how it would look, and those are glowing, and I thought that looked pretty cool, so we're gonna do that. We've got some pylons here, little reinforced rails on both sides. Those will go together nicely. And we got our sausage section with the bottom filled in. So in the next video, I'm going to drill out my windows. I'm going to figure out my pylons. I'll probably drill out the windows in the saucer too. As always, thank you so much, everybody, for watching, for commenting, for subscribing, for liking, for not liking, for complaining about everything. I love it. I just love it. I love everyone that watches. And running on a little bit long, so we're gonna wrap this one up, get it on the editing block. So again, I want to thank everybody for coming along on this journey on the Miranda Hornet refit build. And as always, roll that beautiful starship footage.